Hey guys, it's Hunter. Welcome back to another video. It is that time of year again. 2019 is almost over. Black Friday sales are happening everywhere. So I thought it would be the perfect time to hand out awards to the top guitars that I tried this year. You know, it can double as like a buyer's guide or whatever. I know it's not even December yet, but realistically, since I only do one demo a week, there are only 4 more guitars for the rest of the year, and I already know which ones they are. So if they apply, I'll include them. Before we talk about guitars though, I do have a quick announcement. I now finally have new merch designs up, as well as made older designs available for pre-order. Like the run that I did about this time last year, I'm doing self-distribution instead of drop shipping with like Teespring. Personally, I just think the quality is way better. Even after like a billion washes, the shirts from last run are still so soft. They're still some of the most comfortable that I own, and the print hasn't faded. And of course, every merch order comes with a high integrity sticker to put wherever you want, or to throw away, I guess. It doesn't matter. So yeah, link in the description. Check it out. They're really nice shirts, help support the channel. Anyways, don't forget to drop a like if you're enjoying the video, and now without further ado, let's get to it. These are this year's Aguwards. So the first category is Best Unique Feature. There's so many different models released every year. Guitar brands really need to make an effort to stand out. And this year, I'm giving this category to the Eastman SB59V. That antique varnish is unlike anything I've felt on any guitar. It's so thin and smooth. It feels just like playing an old classical stringed instrument, and it's one of the big things that makes this guitar feel like one of the highest quality guitars I've ever played. For the second year in a row, the honorable mention goes to a Vola. This time it's the Oz ROA with the luminescent grain filler. I mean, that is super f***ing cool. Next category, the biggest bust. Since the 7-string AliExpress Hello Kitty, I'm not even counting as a proper guitar, I'm giving this dishonor to the Gibson Les Paul Modern. At least for me, talk about a disappointment. Okay, ignoring all the rest of the drama around the company, this was a huge year for Gibson. Product-wise, this was, for the most part, a huge relaunch, a rebirth of the new era Gibson with the original and modern collections. The standard 50s and 60s were the unchanged classics to satisfy purists. So you'd think the flagship of the entire Gibson USA line with a name like Les Paul Modern, it would be something new and exciting. And yeah, nah, not really. Compared to Gibson's other stuff, yes, it is relatively modern. It has a compound fingerboard radius and a cool wiring scheme for a variety of tones, but old school pickups and a neck cutaway that design-wise comes across as almost an afterthought. It's more like a cautious half step rather than the giant leap into modernity that I thought Gibson would take to reach new players. I mean, not that $2,800 is a very attractive price for non-Gibson players to give it a shot anyways. I mean, it wasn't a bad guitar by any means, it was just meh. And the dishonorable mention for this category goes to, actually, another Gibson, the 2019 Studio Tribute. The LP tributes have always been some of my favorites, like Les Pauls in their rawest form. Reasonable prices and nice satin finishes. This one, it was like artificial product differentiation. I mean, what $1,000 Les Paul comes with dot inlays when the last couple of years have had trapezoids? They made it look cheaper for no reason. The good news is, it was part of a lineup that only lasted a few months before the relaunch happened. Retailers might be blowing them out for the holidays to make room for new stock. So if you can get one at a good price, it might be worth it, seeing as they still have the cryogenically treated frets, which the current production models do not. On the complete opposite end of things, let's talk about most surprising. A guitar that I was pretty sure I'd be meh on and ended up absolutely loving was the Charvel DK24 HSS. Normally, not not a super Strat guy at all. Now, after playing this thing, well, no, I'm still not a super Strat guy, but I want a DK24 of my own so bad. And I'm giving the honorable mention in this category to the Fender Player Series Tele. Telecasters, and honestly, Fenders in general, I was never too into. And like a super basic sub $700 guitar with single coils, I really wasn't expecting that much. And it turned out to be one of the most fun demos I've put together this year. Honestly, it's one of the guitars that I look straight to if I've got writer's block. On to best looking guitar. I'm going with the 7-string SInGlEcUt 10S custom made for me. I mean, it looks incredible. So many exotic woods, zero-cote fingerboard, bird's eye maple pickup rings, ebony pickup covers, that 3D poplar burl top with the matching headstock, and just the absolute perfect shade of blue. Wasn't too into the sound of the pickups, but I mean, I could look at this guitar forever. And there are actually 2 honorable mentions in this category because I couldn't decide on just one. To be fair, this category could have like a ton of honorable mentions, but then this video would be stupid long. First up, none other than the memeiest guitar of the year. It's the Solar SInGlEcUt. Swamp Ash with the blood transmat finish. I mean, it's gorgeous in just such a simple way. And the other honorable mention I'm giving to the Jericho Edge 6 NT. I'm really into these natural transparent stains right now, and this is one of the best examples currently on the market, in my opinion. Blue burl maple on the top, neck through and walnut wings on the back. So good. Alright, I hope you're enjoying the video so far. Before we get into the next category, I want to give a shout out to today's sponsor. If you've been watching my videos the last few weeks, you can probably already guess who it is. It's D'Addario, one of the most reputable names in guitar strings. They've been amazing with being a consistent sponsor and making sure I can bring content to your eyeballs and ear holes. So they've got a new series of extended life string out called the XTs, which are super awesome. They feature high carbon steel wire and D'Addario's thinnest and most durable coating ever. The XT 942s is what I've been using, and they feel just like normal high quality strings, except that they last longer. If they hadn't told me beforehand, I doubt I would have noticed they were coated just from the feel. And in addition to the electric sets, there's also acoustic, classical, bass, mandolin, and even banjo sets. Link to more information in the description, as well as to Sweetwater Atonement if you want to try them out, which I highly recommend you do because I think you'll love them. And besides just amazing strings, D'Addario has been great with supporting content not only on this channel, but in the overall guitar community as well, which is just super cool. Alright, so again, thanks to them, and now let's continue with the video. Moving on to best tone. I know, I make jokes about this brand and their naming scheme a lot, but they know how to make a good sounding guitar. Best tone of 2019 for me goes to the Ibanez Axion label RGA 61AL. Dual bare knuckle aftermaths? Yes, please. The Indigo Aurora Burst with the matching headstock and burnt chrome pickup covers, just amazing. Could have easily been in the honorable mentions for the best looking category as well. An honorable mention for best tone goes to the PRS SE Holcomb SPN. Now, I wasn't a fan of the super trebly Seymour Duncan Alpha Mega set in the 6 string, but for the 7 string with those low tunings, they were great for really tight riffing. Now best budget guitar of 2019. I'm defining budget as under 400 new, and it's probably no surprise that this category is going to be won by a Harley Benton. And no, it's not my signature because of factory limitations. It's looking like that won't be out until spring. Sad. Instead, this category goes to the Harley Benton Fusion. The physical specs are kind of unreal for the $300-ish price tag. Grover tuners, Korean Floyd Rose 1000, spoke wheel truss rod adjustment, and stainless steel frets. Not to mention, it wasn't just the spec sheet, it was the overall build quality of the instrument. In no way, shape, or form did this feel like a cheap guitar. Basically, you just needed to swap out the pickups, then you have a killer Super Strat. I ended up selling it to Chef Brian Tao, who did the Taste of Metal videos with metal injection, and he was just as impressed with it as I was. Unbelievable value for money. And this is another category where I've got 2 honorable mentions. The first is another Harley Benton, the SC Junior. For $200, it captures the feel and essence of a proper junior, and it's basically the perfect gateway drug into that world. The second one goes to a guitar I tried right at the beginning of the year, the 10S GF Vintage Relic. Aged hardware, Grover tuners, a proper maple cap, ebony fingerboard, mother of pearl inlays, and albeit a little excessive hand relic finish, and a proper nitro coating. All that on a $400 guitar. What the f***? That's insane. Next category is best value level guitar. Yeah, I wasn't sure what to call this one. So budget level I defined as $400 or below. Value level I'm saying is about $800 or below. And not gonna lie, this was a hard one. Even budget level this year was so good. I mean, quality wise, the Fusion could have easily snuck into this one too. But one guitar that really stood out to me as punching well above its weight in terms of build quality and feel for the price was the Chapman ML2 Standard V2. What an unbelievably good playing guitar. From the fretwork, to the nut, to the neck, to the rounded fingerboard edges, the overall feel is incredible. I constantly had to remind myself it wasn't a much more expensive guitar. I mean, my plan was to sell it off after the demo because I already have the higher end ML2 Pro, but the Standard just feels so good. So I still have it, even though I definitely don't need it. The honorable mention goes to none other than the fucking Solar SInGlEcUt. Look at that, it snuck into 2 categories. I mean, again, the neck, the fingerboard, the fretwork, and especially the most elegant and comfortable set-through neck joint I've ever seen. Yeah, so YouTuber brands dominate this category for me. Now onto most fun. I mean, since I guess the Evertune modded Hello Kitty doesn't count, I'm giving this to the LTD Sir Headley SH7. Love my Fishman Fluence pickups, and while the Evertune bridge is already a game changer on a 6-string, you can really feel the benefits on a 7. Pitch drift, gone. Intonation issues, non-existent. In general, I'm still very much a 6-string player. I still find 7 strings a bit more difficult sometimes. Not on this one. Super easy, super fun. Honorable mention goes to SATCHEL's signature Charvel. I mean, look at it. It makes me nostalgic for a time I wasn't even alive for. The entire theme of this guitar is fun. There's no way I was getting through this category without mentioning SATCHEL's Charvel. And the last category, best overall, I'm actually gonna go with honorable mention first. And that goes to the Aguwards ELP 112CE. If you're wondering what in the heck is that, it's basically the Hetfield signature model that should have been, but somehow never was. I spent about a decade searching for one, and while there's no particular special thing about it besides the color of the satin finish, it's made in Japan, and for under $1,000 it's one of the most solid Les Paul custom copies I've ever played. If you can find a good reverb deal on an Aguwards Les Paul, definitely do it. And the winner of best overall guitar in 2019 for me, honestly, this was such an easy call. Out of all the guitars I tried this year, there was one that stood head and shoulders above all the others as a forever instrument. I'm talking about the Eastman SB59V. Every single thing about this guitar screams quality. From the tastefully aged finish and hardware to the absolute perfection that is the fretwork, to the unbelievable sound of the custom wound Lawler Imperials, and of course, that ridiculously amazing antique varnish. If you're a SInGlEcUt fan and you're looking to take that next step into custom level quality, this is the guitar that I hands down recommend saving up for, and the absolute best guitar that I tried this year. Alright, so those are my picks for the 2019 Aguwards. Links to all the guitars I talked about are in the description. Let me know what you think of my picks in the comments. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What were your picks? Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Happy holidays, be safe, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you for the next video.